Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the studio build series. Now in this episode you're going to get to see the entire electrical rough-in happen, and I'll walk you through every single plug in here and all of the electrical decisions I made along the way. So let's get started. Okay guys, well, when we left off in episode 2, the concrete had just been poured, and a few days after that, the windows and doors arrived, which was great to see, but it was time for the electricians to get to work on roughing everything in, which meant an electrical walkthrough where we go over every detail of the electrical plan, and I basically tell the electricians where I want all of my lights, plugs, switches, whether any of those switches need to be three-way switches, that sort of thing. And we'll do that on the studio side and then move over and do the same on the shop side as well. Now, early the following week, the electricians got to work, and the first step in the process for them was to get all of the boxes in for the plugs and switches. And you might also notice that the interior walls for the bathroom and mechanical room have been framed out now, so the electricians can get their boxes in there as well. Once all the boxes were in, it was time to start running wire to them, including to the exterior lights that I'm putting in. And trust me when I say this, but there was no shortage of work here, as I probably went way above and beyond with all the electrical in the building. But honestly, that's just the way that I'm wired, and I couldn't have done it any other way. Alright guys, well, after a week's worth of work, the electricians have completed the electrical rough-in here, and everything is wired up and ready to go. So I figured I'd give you kind of a, I guess just a walkthrough of how I wired everything and kind of explain some of the choices that I made in here. So I guess starting with the studio space here, I'm going with 6 LED high bay fixtures. It's going to give me about 90,000 lumens of light total, which it's going to be extremely bright in here, which will be absolutely awesome. My garage right now is very bright. We've got about 60 to 65,000 lumens of light, so this will be a little bit brighter. Yeah, and then in terms of where I switch those, I've got a three-way switch running off the door right here, and right over to a three-way switch over there. When I designed the garage at home, I've got plugs everywhere, and you know, my motto is you can really never have enough. So I kind of went maybe overboard here. I've got 1, 2, 3, couple on the front wall there. And then this wall, I think I've got another 1, 2, 3 plugs there. Now I ran them all on a 20 amp line, so I shouldn't have any issues with ever overloading the circuit. Yeah, and then I guess we'll walk up here to the front. Now in terms of cupboard layout, I'm doing a 36-inch wide tall cabinet here. There's gonna be an upper. And the space you see right up here, is, that's where the TV is going, right kind of in the middle there. And then I'm gonna have another upper here, and then another 36-inch tall cabinet on that side. Now I did put a couple of plugs in on that front wall. I got a vac line there as well, and I also ran a vac line over there, just so that way, I guess, I don't know, it just seems better to have 2, that way I can kind of reach everywhere around a vehicle. Not that I have any issue with that now, but this space is a little bit deeper than my current garage is, so with a 30-foot hose, I probably wouldn't be able to reach all the way into a trunk of a vehicle. That's kind of why I put that extra line in there, so yeah, should be able to reach kind of everywhere. Oh, and one other thing, so I am going to be putting a fan in here, right smack dab in the middle of the room, and that is switched over by the kind of the shop side door here. And one other really cool thing that I'm doing in here is I'm running LED lighting all around the grade beam around the entire studio. And I'm also doing LED lighting underneath the cabinets as well. So it's gonna look really, really good. I'm just doing plain white. You can do kind of the RBG strip lights where you can kind of make it any color you want, but I think white looks the best. So yeah, that's gonna be just kind of a nice finishing touch. It'll make it look really cool. But yeah, let's head over to the shop site and I'll kind of show you what I did over there. Okay, so much the same as the studio. I'm going with the same LED high bay fixtures in here. There are 10 in total, plus 1 in the mechanical room. So this space again is going to be very, very bright, which I'm just a fan I'm a fan of doing that. I have a really bright garage now. I know I wanted more light in here, so yeah, it's gonna be very bright. So 10 fixtures at 15,000 lumens a piece will be 150,000 lumens of light in here. It'll be nuts. And then again, I guess in terms of plugs that I did in here, as you can see, we kind of just did, I don't know, I went like probably every 7 feet or so. And yeah, like I said, you really can't ever have too many plugs. So yeah, I'll have power kind of wherever I need it, whenever I need it. I won't be searching for an outlet or having to get an extension cord to reach. So, and then again, just like the studio, so I have 1 fan going in the studio. I also have 2 fans going in the shop side here, kind of directly over each of the drain pits, there and there. So there's a couple other things I want to show you here real quick. So now over in this kind of corner here by the bathroom, I'm running, probably gonna have a computer out here, maybe have some sort of a live streaming setup. If I do ever do any kind of, I might film voiceovers out here. Not too sure yet, but I did want kind of a desk area anyways out here. So I did run a couple of extra double gang plugs out here, so I've got lots of power. I guess this spot you can see right here. We'll head over to the studio side and kind of show you what this is. Okay, so that is the space right there, and that's running this conduit right here. And this is where the TV is going, like I said earlier. So I needed some way to kind of get access to wires and stuff. I don't want to have my computer sitting out on the counter here. So I ran a conduit from behind the TV to back down kind of where my kind of desk computer area will be, so I can run, I don't know, run Netflix or even, I don't know, something out here while I'm detailing and working. So that'll be kind of nice to have. Standing in the bathroom now, so obviously this is pretty simple wiring in here. There's going to be an overhead vanity light, and then the HRV exhaust will also be in here. There'll be a switch on the wall for that. There'll be a plug by the vanity, just, I don't know, in case I ever need to plug anything in there. And then yeah, so this is where all the wires are coming in, and we've got a 200 amp panel here, so I have plenty of juice, you know, for now, down in the future. Anything that I might need, kind of on the shop side. Yeah, so that'll be really good to have. And obviously they haven't hooked anything up yet, but we do have power here. There's a live plug there. So and there's a couple of live circuits in the studio right now. But I guess in terms of in the mechanical room, really didn't do anything crazy in here either. Like I said, we've got one of the LED high bay fixtures in here, a couple of plugs here and there. One interesting thing though on the vacuum that I'm going with, it is a 240 volt dual motor vacuum. It's going to be, I think, roughly double the suction of my current vacuum, double the capacity. So it's yeah, it's a beast, and I'm definitely looking forward to using that. Same VacuFlow brand that I have now, so I'm very happy with my current vacuum and just kind of wanted to upgrade that. But did have to run 240 volt power for that, and so that's going to be here. The vacuum will sit here kind of directly underneath the HRV, and the vacuum line's coming in, as you can see. And then right here in this corner is where I'm going to mount my pressure washer. And so I've got one plug, that's just a regular 110 volt plug, which is a 20 amp line though, which will handle my current pressure washer. It is just 110 volt, but it does need a 20 amp line. And then I ran an extra 240 volt line, just in case I ever upgrade down the road. Power's gonna be right there for it. So, oh, and then one more thing over here in the studio. I also ran 2 double gang plugs here, so I'll have a whole bunch of power available. My plan here is to kind of put some shelves and basically just kind of make it a kind of a gear shelf. So I'll have all my camera gear, charging batteries, charging drill batteries, whatever. That's kind of going to be the gear area. So I just wanted some extra plugs there for that. And yeah, that's really kind of it in here. There's nothing too crazy, but a few well thought out things like the vacuum, and kind of planning ahead for you know, for a bigger pressure washer if I decide to do that down the road. But yeah, that is going to wrap up episode 3. The electrical is done, and I guess one more thing they have to do is just run some alarm wiring in here, but that's happening, I believe, tomorrow. So yeah, really, I guess basically I'm up now. I've got a whole heck of a lot of speaker wire and Ethernet cable to run for the audio system and all the cameras that I'm going to have inside and outside of this, you know, the shop and the studio here. So I've got a lot of work to do, and yeah, so that's coming up in episode 4. You're gonna see me climbing through these rafters all day long, so that should be a good time. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss out on any future episodes here. Progress is happening fast, but there is still a ton of work left to do. And yeah, I'm just glad I can kind of bring you along for the ride and show you everything. It's been a really cool process so far, and I'm excited to show you guys more. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.